welcome back to my channel. My name's Natalia, and as you guys know, Thanksgiving is right around the corner, so that means lots of pictures, lots of food, and family time. And if you're anything like me, then you love to get dolled up and look super cute for those pictures that you're gonna be taking on Thanksgiving. So I'm gonna give you guys a makeup tutorial along with a hair tutorial and a couple of outfits that you guys can wear so you guys can look cute around turkey time. So let's get started and get dolled up for Thanksgiving. Alright, so I'm starting off with a clean slate. I just washed my face and did my skincare already, so my face is all set to go. I'm going to start off by doing my foundation, but before that I am going to prime my skin. I'm going to be starting off with the Givenchy Universal Primer. And there it is, and sort of just dab it on my skin. It does look very white at first, but it blends in once you mix it in more. Alright, and then I'm going to be taking the sample that I have of this foundation. It is the Dior Show. I believe I'm neutral 1.5, that's my shade. So I'm just going to be using an IT brush that looks just like that to apply it, and I'm just going to buff it into my skin. Now I'm going to go in and I'm going to be using the Philosophy Hope in a Jar Complete Concealer. I love this, as I've mentioned before. It's amazing for under eye concealing. So I just like to dab it first, and then I go in and use a brush to sort of pat it in. And then I go in with my concealer brush and I just really pat it on. And if I have any excess on the brush, I'll just go into places where it needs a little bit of spot concealing. So now that I'm completely all one color, let's add some more dimension into my face. But before that, I do like to go in with my Laura Mercier translucent powder. I like to put this all over my face just to make sure it sets. Alright, now that I know my foundation's not gonna budge for the rest of the day, I'm ready to go in and start contouring or using bronzer. I don't necessarily contour. That is a skill that I just do not have. But I just go in with my flat brush, also from IT. It's amazing for doing this sort of bronzer contouring look. And then I go in with my Christian Dior bronzer, and it is in shade 3. So I go in with that, and I sort of just swirl the brush because it is pretty dark. Tap it, and then I start here. Instead of using it like this, I turn it this way so it covers a wider area, and I just begin lightly to go down my cheekbones, and then I turn it over and do my forehead so it adds some warmth to my face. And then I go in with the same brush and I'm going to sort of contour down the nose, but it's just basically so that my nose can appear thinner, especially since it gets wide towards the bottom. Then I like to bring it down my neck so that my neck also has a little bit of warmth and it's not just pale all the way through. Alright, now that I've added that, I'm going to go in with my blush and put it on the apples of my cheeks. For my blush, I'm going to be using the Christian Dior blush. It is in shade 756. So I'm going to go in with my blush brush, and I'm just going to do the same thing, sort of swirl it around and just apply it right over the contour that I just did. Alright, now blush is done. Next, I'm going to go into my eyebrows. I cannot stand how they look right now, so I'm just going to do that super fast because I, one, am not very good at doing eyebrows, and two, need to get them shaped so they're not even the shape that I would like them to be right now. So no matter what I do, it's a little bit of a hopeless case, but I gotta do with what I have right now. Alright, so that was about it for the brows. I'm just gonna use this clear eyebrow gel from IT Cosmetics. It's brow powder to hold my brows in place. And that's it. There you have it. That's all I do for my brows. Like I said, not the best at the brows. They're my least favorite things to do. It is now time to move on to the eyes, the most exciting part. So I'm going to start off by using my Aspen Ovard palette. She came out with it a couple of years ago. It's a collab with Tarte, and it is just gorgeous. It has a bunch of neutrals, which I love to use. So I'm going to be starting off with my base with these two colors. I'm going to be using this color right here, which clearly you could tell I love because it's hitting pan right there. It is Santorini Sands, and then I'm also going to be using High School Sweetheart as my base. So I'm going to take my IT Cosmetics. It's an all over shadow, so it has sort of a flat top, but it's still a little fluffy. Okay, so now that my eyes have a good base, I'm going to start using my more bold colors with my Morphe palette. So this poor palette has gone through a lot. I've dropped it 2 times, shattered like 5 colors. So luckily I still have my favorites and the colors that I'm going to be using for this eye look. But this is the palette. As you can tell, it looks beat up and like it's gone through hell pretty much. And this one is the 35O. As you can tell, some colors are missing, and that is not because I've used them a bunch. It is because I've dropped this palette. So unfortunately those colors are gone, but there's still so much more in this palette, which is really nice. I'm going to be using for this eye look this brown right here, this orange, brown, orange, and this brown. So clearly a lot of browns and oranges. So next I'm gonna go in with my Morphe brush, which is M518. So this one, it has sort of a fluffy top, and it's great for the creases. I'm gonna go in and use the second to top one right here. And what I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna be creating little circles in my crease. So I'm gonna go sort of like rainbow shape. And I'm gonna stop about midway throughout my eye, just so I sort of get the outer corners more than the inner corners. Next, I'm going to take my fluffy brush. This is a Sephora brush, and it is the... Alright, so next up, I'm going to be using the same Morphe brush that I just used for the orange, and I'm going to take that brown color on this side of the palette, right here, and mix it with the darker one next to the orange that we just used, and I'm going to also put it in the crease. This one is going to be focused more on the corner of the eye, so sort of creating more of a V with this, like an outer V. Also going to go in with this one and buff it out. Now I'm going to be using a smaller brush. This one is part of a Sephora kit. It is the domed crease brush. This comes in a set. So for this domed crease brush, I'm going to be going in with that dark burnt orange color right here, close to the bottom. And I'm just going to be applying it to the very corner of my eyes and sort of doing like a small swish. Now I'm gonna go in back with this Morphe brush, the fluffier one, and I'm gonna go back in with this brown, the medium brown, and I'm gonna sort of go over what I just did in the crease. And again, I always like to buff everything out with this buffer brush. Alright, so next I'm gonna go in with my Smashbox dual end brush. I like to use this side. It has, again, like a compact domed crease, but this one I'm going to be using for my lower lash line. I'm going to be taking that brown right here and applying it under on my lower lash line. Alright, so next up I'm going to be taking that same brush and I'm going to be going in and putting the burnt orange color that we used for the crease right here and applying it just towards the end, like the outer parts of the lower lash line. Alright, perfect. So now I'm going to be taking my Aspen Ovard palette again, and it has some nice shimmery colors. So I'm going to be taking this one right here, which is called Brilliance, and applying it in the inner corners of my eyes. Alright, so there's 2 options that you could go from here. You can either go in with a pencil liner and do the liners on top, then add some mascara and call it a day. But what I like to do is I love my liquid liner and I love to do wings, so I'm going to be going in and adding a wing liner to this. All right, perfect. So I added the liner. I didn't do it in front of the camera just because I have to get super up close. That's just me. Liner is up, and now I'm gonna go in with my pencil liner. All right, so I'm gonna take my black brown pencil liner from NYX, and it's just regular eye pencil, and I'm going to be using it a little bit on the corners of my lower. Makeup tutorial. So now we're gonna move on to hair. So this is my natural hair. I just washed it and air dried it, and it's very wavy at the bottom, but then up top it's straight. So I always have to do something with it. I can never just let it air dry. I like to curl it because it's way easier than straightening it for me personally. So that's what we're gonna be doing. We're gonna be doing some nice loose waves. And what I'm going to be using is my extremely old straightener. So this, I don't even use a curling iron. I'm just going to be using this straightener. I'm not exactly sure of the dimensions, but I just use this straightener. It's not very wide, which is how I'm able to make these curls that I'm going to be doing in this video. First, I'm going to start by using this Dry Bar Heat Protectant. This is called Hottie Toddy, and I like this because it's a heat protectant spray and you use it on dry hair. So if you are not blow drying your hair from wet to dry, then you're gonna wanna use something like this that you can apply just to dry hair. Since my hair is so thick, I like to section it off. All right, so I'm just going to brush out the waves. And I'm gonna use my Hottie Toddy. And what I like to do first is, since I have waves in my hair, I like to sort of straighten it a little bit and then I go in and curl it. So I'm going to loosely straighten the top part, and then once I feel that all the kinks have gone out, I'll take the piece of hair that I want to curl, the section, and I'll grab it, I'll wrap it back, and I'll twist it, and then I'll go down. Slide it down slowly, but not too slowly. Depending on how slow you go is how tight the curl will be. So if you go down really slow, then the curl is gonna be tighter. I like mine mildly loose, so that's the type of curl I get. And then I just brush it out, and then I continue with the next section. Alright, so first section is done. That didn't take too long. It took like 6-7 minutes. just because I already have waves, so it takes a little longer, but if your hair is already straight, this is going to be a breeze. You don't even have to pre-straighten it. You just go in and just go to curling. Look like a rocker. Alright, so that is it. It's super simple, super easy, and it adds so much nice volume to your hair, and it just makes, it completes the look, honestly. Alright, so now we're going to be moving on to the outfits portion of this video. I'm going to be doing two different outfits, one a little bit more casual, the other one a little bit more fancy. Alright, so for my first outfit, I have this black knit wrap top. I've wrapped it a couple of times around. It has the cute bow right there. I've paired it with this dark purple velvet skirt, and it laces up on the sides, and it looks super cute together. I paired also with this necklace right here since it had so much space up here. But yeah, it's super, super cute. And then for shoes, I paired it with these black booties right here. They're open in the back, so it's a little bit more breathable if you live in a hot place like Florida and you don't feel like wearing super warm clothes for Thanksgiving. But yep, that is the full fit. Okay, so another way that you could wear that black wrap top, if it's chillier where you are at, unlike Florida, you can pair it with some dark denim. I chose this dark gray denim that I have, has some rips. It looks a little edgier, it looks cute, and then I paired it with a blue denim jacket. So that can be super cute. It's also a little bit more casual, more comfortable, especially if you're gonna be eating a whole bunch of turkey and you just wanna sort of relax in some comfy jeans. And then the shoes for this one, I chose some closed black booties instead of the ones that had the open back. So these are just regular black pointed booties, and they look super cute with the outfit. Alright guys, this is it for the video. I hope you guys liked it, and if it gave you some inspo, please like and subscribe. I would really appreciate that. Hope you guys have a good Thanksgiving. I'll see you next Sunday. Bye guys.